amazing. Um, it's amazing, really, the number of people that I've gotten to join me in my Facebook group by doing these lives and just chatting with you. Um, and people are, out there, they're thirsty for information. Everybody has, their own unique concerns and challenges. But by just sort of sharing your story as well as, being open to answering questions, comments while you do your presentation, it's really helpful. And then it gets our conversation started around finances for me, and particularly helping our fierce women over 50, soar their finances in 2023. And today I'm going to talk about a specific method, one method of many, but one method that I use. So I'll start here. Again, I'm going to start by adding the Google Doc in the comments. So everything I'm presenting and speaking about is in the Google Doc in the comments. You can sort of just open it up, and there's a free PDF book in there, ebook in there for you to just sort of also get more information about how you're going to take your finances into 2023 and soar, right? So, I'm Ilima Hong. I talk about positivity and passive income. And regardless of when this message finds you, I'm a big believer in serendipity and the energy matter that brings all of us together. And we really get together at the right place and the right time. And that might be today for you. I'm 52 years old. I'm a wife of 23 years. I have a wonderful husband. I have two young adult children. Like, they're in college, so I shouldn't call them children, but young adult kids. And I have 30 plus years of experience in business and now in education as well. I was a human resources director, and I'm an education administrator. But like many of you here, I took the journey into my career with zest and passion and incredible commitment and sacrifices. And that meant, taking different certifications, getting further educated to prepare myself and create the skills that I need, or build the skills that I need to be a quality leader in the job I was in. And you do that, and you think that that is the journey that you need to be on. And you think that you have to drop everything and commit to the job because it's fulfilling to you. And you think that over time, you have added value and you've contributed to your job. But what happens when you realize that it is a job, right? And if you are working a 9 to 5 or in a career, you have a boss. Unless you are an entrepreneur and you own the business, you have a boss that you have to answer to. Now, that could still be a wonderful experience, because you could have a boss that you connect with really well, that has these leadership skills that you want to emulate, that you want to learn from. But that didn't happen for me, because honestly, I had a supervisor and a boss who was phenomenal. She was an incredible leader and still is today. But with time, that leadership changed. And the new person came in with a very different style and had their own agenda for me and my position. And they made changes like that. And the changes did not include my input. So when faced with the realization that my position was going to change, my purpose and my setting, it was a shock. It was a real blow, probably to my ego, as well as to I reflect back and look at all the time and commitment that I gave to this job, and found I was I had momentum, and I was building projects and programs, and that was just cut, just sliced like that and thrown away. So my role was changed. And I had to decide, right, if I was going to just shrivel up and be a victim, you know, blame others, or or what? You know, what's the alternative to that? And I found the alternative. Okay. The alternative was to take this challenge in life, right? Have your job change, you know, have these things abrupt, have no input into those changes, and find a way to turn it around, to shift your perspective and shift your energy from being negative, feeling like a victim, feeling what's it called? Vengeful, feeling resentful, and all those bad feelings, and turning it around to the point where you can see the real opportunity in what has happened to you. Now, I did that by asking three questions, and the three questions were: Who am I? Who is that other person, right? And how do they matter? And then the third one is, what are my priorities, right? So who am I? I have all these years of experience and skills, and things are going to change in my life. And, you know, does it really impact me as a person? Number two, who are they? Who are the people who made those changes? You know, do they matter to me? Do they care about me? And when I asked those critical questions, I became more clear about why they didn't matter to me and why the situation that happened didn't matter. Then the third question was, what are my priorities, right? What are my true blessings? And that could be, I had my health, right? Nobody can really take that away from you. I had my health. It was okay. I had my relationships. Again, I said I have a husband, I have two children, and I have a tight circle of good friends and family and other family that love me. So those relationships were healthy, they were intact. And then the third and most important thing I made clear to myself was that I have the capacity to learn. I still have the capacity to learn. So no dire or adverse decision in my employment could change that, right? You're going to have a boss, or you're working for a 9 to 5 or in a career, somebody else could make decisions, but you still have those three things in your back pocket, right? With you at all times. So I had to provide that sort of leadership in my household. I had to show my family that these are things that are happening in your employment, and they're not the most comfortable, but I still have all of this ahead of me and I'm fine. Okay? So that's where my message oftentimes in my accounts here are about positivity, because I am about creating passive income, because I do want financial freedom, and I want the freedom of time too, to free up my schedule so that I can do the things I love and not be anchored down to a 9 to 5. But in order to really be successful with passive income and building an online business, I really have to work on my own perspective and positivity. I have to work on my own mindfulness, so that while I'm pursuing these goals and while I'm aligned with my values, okay, I'm going to create this business, I'm going to help fierce women over 50. That's my message. I'm going to help women like me, who are just sort of wanting to find out how to create more financial freedom and stability in that sense. Well, I can't do that unless I am grounded in my own values and I make decisions based on a very clear vision. So I went through that situation with my employment, and it landed me here. Okay? So something adverse happened in my employment, and I decided to scroll on social media, and not so much for entertainment, but I was searching, right? And through serendipity, right, and through the algorithm, as I was searching, I came across accounts that resonated and people's messages that resonated, just like you do, just like we are here, right? Just like you do. And when you have those messages, then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to build my own online business. Really, why don't you share with me, what brings you to this platform? What brings you to, stumble upon my live and my presentation? right? Are you searching for something, or is it still entertainment? And is it just the algorithm sort of putting some people in front of you so that you can kind of decide whether you like it? Well, most often, I'd say over half of our women over 50 or in our 40s, as we're sort of mature in our career, we're still looking for something, right? We're still looking for either a side hustle, some way to just supplement our current income, because you could be very happy in what you do, and that's perfectly fine. But what happens if your wonderful boss that you've been working with and learning from is replaced, right? Is replaced with someone else, and that could very well happen. And then you're faced with, well, do I really want this stress in this new job or this job under new leadership? Do I want this, and is the income worth it? However, if you had some kind of side hustle sort of going on for you, maybe not needing to invest a whole lot of time or money into it, but you did it and it just created this passive income on the side, then I think your perspective and your sense of, clarity and ability to make decisions would be a little different or a lot different. Okay, so I brought together in this presentation, right, really the 5 reasons women over 50 should even start a side hustle. Okay, and these are really, they're large reasons that have a lot of information that can go under each and every one of them, but I'm just giving you a summary of it. Go ahead and look in the comments for my presentation, as well as at the end I'm going to show you a free PDF of more information around creating a side hustle. Okay, so the first reason women over 50 should start a side hustle is financial security. Okay, just as I described, starting a side hustle can provide additional income that can ensure your financial security during retirement. So when we are approaching retirement, or we're looking forward and we're thinking, okay, maybe in a decade or two, I'm going to retire, but I don't have enough money. The projections for the savings that I have for 20 years from now, or 2 decades, or 1 decade from now, is not enough to carry me 2 more decades, 3 more decades into retirement where I do not work. Yeah, I could part-time work, I could do some little gigs here and there, but I don't work my full corporate or 9 to 5 job, right? So side hustle, the side income, really helps to provide that cushion, and you have time. If you're here today, you have time to sort of nurture that side hustle while you enjoy your 9 to 5. You just nurture it and you just learn how to do it, and I have information about that, and then let it run. And then it starts to build momentum well into your retirement years. Number 2, personal fulfillment. So I have to really speak to this because, right, I entered into this journey to pursue a way to make income online. And I could have never, ever, ever imagined the real growth and relationships that I created online, right? Learning about how to create an online business, learning about, and you see some of these terms, right? A sales funnel, an email marketing strategy, content creation strategy, because I'm doing this in social media, among many, many, many other terms and language and systems that I had to learn about. But it's been really fulfilling, and I can't, I'm just excited every morning to try to work on it and to see what lies ahead in my online business. Okay. The third one is networking. A side hustle can provide an opportunity to meet and interact with new people, like I just mentioned, right? Build relationships, expand your professional network. That's for sure, for sure. Then you can improve your mental health. Now, this is important, and that's why I bring up the concept of positivity, right? because you have to have both journeys running parallel, or it could be the same journey, but you have to have set a focus and priority on creating the positive mindset and all of the work that comes with that, as well as learning how to build your side hustle. And so you do that because learning how to build your side hustle presents a number of its own unique challenges, yeah, and stressors, and it's there. And if you're not, as well as you go through life, right, it's all there. You're going to be on this journey and you encounter challenges and obstacles. But if you have the positive mindset, right, that includes practices that help you cope with stress, nutrition, focusing on health, making this, intentional decisions around your overall health, serves your ability to be a phenomenal online entrepreneur, right, and overcome many of those challenges. It increases your confidence. Number 5, right? Increasing your confidence along with all of that. Yeah, positive mindset. The way I say confidence is I'm living proof of that. Okay, I don't know what perception you might have of me presenting here. It could be that I'm awful at it. It could be that I'm mediocre. It could be that I'm okay, that my message resonates with you. But putting myself out there, if you had told me 6 months ago, hey, you're going to be going live on Facebook and TikTok 3 times a week and you're going to be sharing a message, I would have just dismissed that in 2 seconds, right? In 2 beats. I would have just been like, that's crazy, because I could have never imagined that. But when you embark on something new in a journey and you learn something new, then you you take action. Okay, you learn it, you plan for it, and you take action. It's the taking action part that builds your confidence. Okay, it's not the planning part. Okay, you can envision maybe how you want your presentation to go, um, but you don't know how it goes, right, until you are actively doing it. You're in the present moment of presenting or of giving information to someone online like this. Just the same goes for creating content. A lot of people are afraid to show their face, and they're like, I don't want to do this, but I want to start an online business. Well, there's ways to do it that you don't show your face, but the most compelling one, or the way that you can draw in someone after you're telling your story with your face in your own videos, it ensures much more success, yeah, if you're online. So those were the 5. So the 5 things, the 5 reasons women over 50 should start a side hustle: financial security, personal fulfillment, networking, improving mental health, and increasing your confidence. All of those things are the reasons. And there's a number of things to discuss under each of those bullet points, right? And I go into that more in depth. I share this kind of information more in detail in my Facebook group. And you see it up here, Essential Digital Biz with Ilima Hong. I have information about creating a side hustle for people of different experiences. So some who are absolutely brand new, I have a beginner's program that is incredible for you to start. It doesn't require any digital skills initially at all. At all. It's free to learn it. You don't pay anything to learn it. You don't pay anything to embark on it or do it. And you don't sell anything. That's the incredible part of it. Yeah, you don't sell anything in that training or in that affiliate program. But as you share information in that affiliate program and you connect your audience to the company that that you get a paid commission with that. And the company offers a service to the audience you're talking to. It's win-win. Win, 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 win. But that's a beginner's program. That can be for someone who knows digital marketing very well too, but at least it starts there. And then I have other affiliate programs in my group. And ultimately, I am in the business of information. That's really my platform that I stand on. I'm in the business of information, and I provide learning and training on how to turn your knowledge, which is unique in your experiences, which are unique to just you, turn those into a digital product and make sales on the daily. On the daily. So, what's going to stop you from at least maybe taking this first step, at least jumping into my Facebook group, Essential Digital Biz with Ilima Hong? The link is right here in both of my accounts. What's going to stop you from at least just trying to do that, right? That is something we can all get to know each other that way. There's no harm and no cost, right, to being in a Facebook group and being a member. But when and if, and I know it will, information that I share in there kind of sparks your interest, then you're going to take this step and you're going to click and you're going to take a free training. Because what have you got to lose with that? If we are in our 40s and 50s, ladies, you're realizing, like me, that you have less time ahead of you than you have behind you, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to bring any sadness to your day, but that's a reality, right? But you're still in the driver's seat. You're still the pilot for the next few decades ahead of you. You are. And no, why not make those next few decades ahead of us phenomenal? Like the best decades we ever had, right? Not in the decades, you're not in our first decade, not in our second decade, which could have been fun for a lot of you. Our third decade could have been phenomenal for a lot of you. How about our fifth, sixth, and seventh decade here? And where we have a thriving passive income source, maybe multiple streams of income, just sort of trickling in as you're going through your retirement, just trickling in, and you're able to nurture it, you're able to expand your capacity and your learning, and you're able to have vitality because you put your mental health and your physical health as a priority. So then your next few decades, you have tremendous youth, yeah, a feeling of exuberance and joy. So I hope this information was helpful for everyone. Really, it's something I dive a lot deeper into in my Facebook group. You can go right into my link, right, in the accounts, as well as if you're in the group, then you'll have access to the actual presentation I did here and the video and the free PDF, 5 Ways to Soar Your Finances. And I hope this was fun for you because it was for me. So I'm going to sign off here. I really appreciate you jumping in where you could. And go ahead, and if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and put in that you might watch the live or you might have watched the replay, which is still going to be in there in my group. And let's connect, because I can definitely share information about the methods of which that you can build a passive income stream, a side hustle, even while you keep your 9 to 5. But you could find over time that your side hustle replaces or even exceeds your current 9 to 5 salary. And that would be incredible. You'd be amazed, wouldn't you? Have a wonderful day. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Have a wonderful holiday. I'll see you all again on Tuesday. The Tuesday after Christmas. Is that the 27th? And yes, the 27th. I'll see you Tuesday and Thursday next week at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we'll cover more really great information about how fierce women over 50 are going to soar their finances in 2023. Take care.